Good morning to everyone. Today you are going to be learn software engineering approaches. Topic 4. What is meant by software engineering approaches? It is used for to development of a new software. It is a development process. However, when we are developing a new software, it will not be completed in a single phase. It will not be easy unless we are using the procedures. The software engineering approaches can be classified into 6 categories. The first one, preliminary investigation. Second, requirement analysis. After software design, coding and testing, last one is maintenance of the software. We see one by one and we discuss detail about this topic one by one. You look at on the screen. SDLC stands for System Development Life Cycle. It is a step-by-step process. It is an organized way to develop a successful system. It improves the quality of a system. SDLC consists of 6 different phases. Each phase deals with a key issue and produce result. So it is clear that the software engineering approaches SDLC, which used for to development of a new system, which has 6 different phases. Earlier I discussed. First we look at the first phase, preliminary investigation. It means we have to be investigate, we or estimate whether the requirement software is possible to build or not. You look on the screen, preliminary investigation is the first phase. In this phase, the system is investigated. The objective of this phase is to conduct the initial analysis and finding of the system. It is important to be reasonably sure of the success of the proposed system before initiating work on it. So in this system, it explained in the preliminary investigation is the first phase to development of the new system, which is the objective of to finding the fault of the system, finding the fault of the existing system, which means why the user is dissatisfied with the system, why the user is expect, why the user is demand, what are the difficulties are there in the existing system that the user wants to be changed to the new system. So that ought to be take it in account. So the next one, a feasibility study. Is a study to find whether the process proposed system. So there are 3 categories. Possible, that means a feasibility means possible, whether the new system is possible to build based on the requirement of the user, can be satisfied to the user, can we build the demand of the system, the needs of the system. So these are all be studied in this feasibility study, in this preliminary investigation and feasibility study. The second one, affordable. Given the time and cost constraint of the organization, affordable cost. So the budget is there. Everyone have budget. So to buy the system in that amount, in the this much amount, okay. So that the budget is there. So we can be offer the quality system, the expecting system, the budget of the user. So that ought to be considered in this phase. Last one is an acceptable for the use. So acceptable for use by the user of the system. So it is a last testing whether the system is satisfied to the user or not. Okay, it is an acceptable testing. It looks as acceptable whether the system is satisfied to the user or not. So before the constructions of the system, before the development of the system, we have to be discuss, we have to be study that the requirement system, the demanding system is possible to build or not. If it is built, if it is possible, then can we give the system to the affordable cost or not? Can we deliver the system on time of the user? Can we satisfied to the user? So these are all to be considered and study in this first phase, which name is preliminary investigation, right? Shall we go to the next subtopic? Requirement analysis. So here already I discussed 6 phases are there. The first phase is over. The 7 we go to the next phase, requirement analysis. You look on the screen. Software engineering requirement analysis focus on needs and requirement of the new system and user satisfaction. It is a process of gathering and defining service to the system. These can be collected. These informations can be collected in the following ways. So before that, what is analysis? What is the requirement? So the analyst should be collected the data of the industry. Suppose a system is wants to industry, so the data of collected from the industry. So numbers of the questions may be arising. What type of the system that they need? Okay. And the second one, why the user wants to be changed from the old system to the new system? What are the fault are there? What are the mistakes are there that are to be taken in account? Understand? Okay. After that, the user, the analyst, collect the information about the system. Okay. So this information can be collected in the different ways. You look on the screen. It is interview. The analyst can be collect the data from the user directly to the interview. It is a very time consuming method, but without preparing of the analyst, he can be collected the data from the industry staff. What type of the system you required? So that is user. It can be collect the data from the user. What type of the system you required? Why do you use dissatisfied with the system? So such questions may be asked in the interview. Okay. The second type, which is a questionnaires. Questionnaires means which is a questions are given. So there are the two type of the questions are given. One is closed response, another one is an open response. Open response means just the analyst observe. Okay, what type of the system he demand, what are the informations. So these informations are collected and recorded in the analyst. And closed type means so some questions are given. So the user must answer for that questions only. Okay, but in the open response, the user can be go some other direction. Okay, so they can be go to the mechanical side, they can be go to the electrical side, so that or it go to some other sides. So these are one of the way to collect the information about the system. Okay, the third one, record review. it is a type of information collecting way. Record review means the recorded, the previous system record is to be reviewed, and the analyst has to be read the record and observe what is in the record. But one is difficult in the record review. Okay, some of the changes may be made in the system, but it not be recorded in the records. Understand? It not be recorded in the file. Okay, so this also one next way for collecting the informations about the system. On-site observation. On-site observation means the analyst. The analyst operate the system and observe how it working, what it need. So he observe the system and he operate with the system. Understand? He work with the system. So this is known as an on-site observations. So these are all useful to gathering user demands and user needs to make a fully satisfied and automated system. So these are the way to collect the informations, the requirement of the systems from the user, from the industries, and to make a fully automated and a satisfied system. Understand? It is very satisfied to the user. Okay, so it can be made a fully automated and a satisfied system. User can be happy with this system. Such systems can be built. Okay. Shall we go to the next subtopic? Software design. It is the next phase to develop a software design. So already I said that a system cannot build in a single phase. Understand? A system must be process numbers of the phases, then it can be build a satisfied system. So the third one is software design. So here we come to the point, based on the gathered information, the system designing is started, right? So you look on the screen. The design phase of the software development deals with transferring the customer requirement and described in the SRS, software requirement documents, which means SRS means software document. In that, what I said, that the customer requirement as a described in the document into a form implementable using a programming language, right? SRS means software requirement specification document. The software design process can be divided into the three levels, that are interface design, architectural design, detailed design. Already I said that the two phases are over. In the second phase, which is the designing of the software, the software designing, which is based on the gathered information. So this designing can be classified into three levels: interface design, architectural design, and a detailed design. Interface design, which is the system which must be interact with the user, right? The system must be interact with the user. The second one, architectural design, which is a design the structure of the system. In that phase, architectural design. The last one is a detailed design. The system design can be constructed in this phase. So here, before that design, a data flow diagram which is helpful to understand the design of the system between the user and the developer, which known as in short form as an DFD. Okay, which for example, during the constructions of a building, we are drawing a plan in the paper. Okay, how we have to be construct a building, how many bedrooms are there, how many halls is, so that are all be draw in the paper and in the paper by using pen or pencil. Similarly, before the designing, before the constructing of the software, the developer which has to be design the software, how it will be work, how it interface to the user. Okay, so these are all be using a diagram using paper and pencil. So this diagram is called DFD, data flow diagram, which help to understand the system to the user and developer, between the user and the developer. For example, if the database design system which should be developed by using a database model, these models can be classified into three categories: relational model, hierarchical model, and a network model. The software design should be user friendly. So that is, I said that in the interface design, the software must be interface with the user and the developer. That is, the user, the developer must be use icons, menus, buttons, and checkboxes, etc., undo and redo options that will be very interact to the user, and as well as the developer, the user can be interface easily with the system. The next phase, architectural design, which is the structure of the system, is designed in that phase. So that the structure, the system, what is the requirement of the system, and that ought to be recorded in the architectural design. It is proposed, it is that real systems, okay, that the systems are designed in that phase. Detailed design. So finally, the systems has to be designed in that phase. Okay. Here we go to the next phase. Okay. In the software designing phase, we are designing a new system based on the requirement, which is says as an SRS, software requirement specification documents, which is recorded in the software requirement specification document. Based on the gathered information, the design will be constructed. Understand? We go to the next phase, that is, you can be see on the screen, design is the specification of the internal elements of the design, is the specifications of the internal elements of the all major system components, their properties and relationship, processing, and often their algorithms and the data structure. The detailed design may be include, okay, the decompositions of the major system components into the programming unit, allocations of the functional responsibilities to the unit, user interface, unit state and state change, data and control interactions between units, data packaging and implementation, including issue scope and visibility of the program element, algorithm and data structures. So these are all be included in this detailed design. So we go to the next topic. What is coding? Coding means it's a source code. Based on the design, the coding will be written by the programmer. So you look on the screen, the coding is a process transforming the design of a system to a computer language format. However, the physical design of the system, okay, the virtual design which will be displayed on the screen, but the physical design of the system, it means by using the source code that are to be writing in this phase, that are to be constructed in this phase. This coding phase of the software development is concerned with the software translating designing specifications into the source code. It is necessary to write source code and internal documentation so that the conformance of the code to its specification can be easily verified. However, after design process, okay, after the design process over, the next phase is an coding phase. So based on the design, the coding will be right. It is written by the programmer. Okay, this is an actually executing in the machine. This coding is program. It is a source code. Okay, it is a physical system. Okay, this is executing on the screen. Okay, executing on the system. So the next phase is an testing. Okay, testing which is a process. We know that the testing, the mainly error or be arising in the testing phase. However, we are analyze, gather the data. The second one is designing the system based on gather data, and third one is coding. We are written. We have to be write code for the design of the software, and finally we are tested. Here many errors may be arising either in the design or in the coding. You look on the screen. Testing is a process of executing program with the aim of finding errors. To make our software perform well, it should be error free. If testing done successfully, it will be remove all the errors from the software. There are three types of testings are there. So here in the testing process, the software, we have to be find the error whether it is available in the design or in the source code. If it is available, if it is exists, that errors may be removed. So it can be classified into three types: unit testing, integration testing, and a system testing. Here unit testing. Okay, unit testing means a smallest software, smallest unit of the software is tested by the programmer. Integration testing, all the smallest units are combined and tested together. The last one is an system testing. It can be classified into three ways: stress testing, recovery testing, and security testing. So we look at one by one. First, unit testing. It is focused on smallest unit of software design. In this, we test the individual unit or group of interrelated unit. It is often done by the programmer by using sample input and observing its corresponding output. However, a system may have thousands of units. However, it is divided into number of small pieces is known as an unit. This unit is tested by the programmer. Okay, if it is work successfully, the programmer is test the second unit and third unit and so on. Understand? We go to the next phase, integration testing. All the units are to be integrated, are to be combined and run together. When that situation, say, many errors may be arising, like as data structure errors may be arising, data types errors may be arising, memory overflow may be arising. So these errors may be arising in the integration testing. Understand? We go to the next last one, system testing. In this, software is tested such that it works fine for different operating system. It cover under the black box testing technique. In this, we just focus on record input and output without focusing on the internal working. However, the software is tested. The software may be work in different operating system. The different operating system maybe the error may be not be supported, so error may be arise. So this system testing may be classified into three ways. Security testing. So it is unauthorized prevent to access the software. Recovery testing. Suppose if we delete any one of the data, we can get back the data. So it is recovery testing. Stress testing. In abnormal situations, when we are accessing multiple user, what should do, which process is to be performed first. So that are to be decisions are taken in the stress testing. Okay, that ought to be, that decisions is to be taken by the system, that it to be tested. So it's known, this test is known as an stress test. Okay, finally we come to the last step, system maintenance and enhancement. Maintenance means the finally the system is working successfully, and the system is put to the user side. So when the user is to be maintained, so maintenance may be upgrading the system, right? So sometimes some of the element may be forgotten, that element is to be added. So changes may be required in the system, or it may be required electricity, it may be required backup, it may be required to operator to operate the system. So first we look on the screen. First we look at on the screen. First we read the notes. Maintenance means restoring something to its original condition. Enhancement means adding, modifying the code to support the change in the user specification. System maintenance conforms the system to its original requirement, and enhancement add to the system capability by incorporating the new requirement. Thus, maintenance changes in the existing system enhance, add features existing, and development replace the existing system. It is an important part of system development that include the activities which correct errors in the system design and implementation, update the document, and test the data. So it is clearly said that the maintenance means suppose if the user required some changes, the system is must to be support the change. Understand? So when it support the change, it improve the quality. Suppose the user may be forget the elements, or the developer, the analyst may not be recorded some essential or some needs of the system. So the elements, the requirements may be recorded in finally or after constructed system. So anyhow, the system is to be support to the change. Okay, so it can be classified into three categories. So that is system maintenance can be classified into three types: corrective maintenance, adaptive maintenance, and perfective maintenance. So maintenance, it is not only maintaining the such as needs, it also be maintained and upgrading, and it also be support the changes. Okay, it also support the change, and it also be support to upgrade, it also be include the requirements. Understand? Hence we come to conclusion. I would like to be conclude this class. We will be meet in the next class. Thank you for patient listening.